because right now we control 1/2 and 1/3 of the government. And, you know, it's just terribly difficult. And I think that Boehner, I don't agree with him on everything, and we disagree on a lot of things. But the one thing that I've got to say is that he has had temperance when it has come to dealing with this White House, because I would have wanted to say a lot harsher things than what he said about this president than what he has done. But I think he's trying to maintain, not that he doesn't have outrage, but a little dignity to try to get into a position where we can win. And that's what he's doing. And you know, he's a big golfer. You didn't know that, but his phrase is, "We got to keep a ball in play. If you don't keep a ball in play, you're not going to win." And so we have always tried to keep a ball in play. So, you know, even on the continuing resolutions, people are mad about that. But we have cut money every time that we've done it. Is $40 billion a lot of money when you're talking about 3.4 trillion? No, it's not. But it's something. And so, you know, this, like I said, is going to be a progress of trying to get people to get out of that comfortable water. But I think the outrage is going to come in January. And talking about outrage, if you know, when they took prayer out of school, do you know that not one church organization filed an amicus brief about that? Not one. And, you know, you look at the abortion issue. Where was the outrage? We killed 57 million babies since Roe versus Wade. And think about the productive citizens that we would have right now, you know, with that. And so the outrage is going to come. But our government has desensitized our churches. They want them to be political. And if you go back to our founding fathers, if you go back to Mecklenburg and some of those guys, they had on their priest uniforms, and after they get through the sermon, they would take it off and they'd be in full gear with their sword. They were ready to go. And so, you know, we've got other things that we need to work on. Sure, it's the government's fault, but we've got things right here in our own community, in our own churches, in our own families that we need to get straight about what we're willing to stand up and fight for.
On June 7th of 2012, the House held a hearing put on by the Financial Service Committee, and their question for the hearing was whether or not to expand the FHA to include multifamily homes and backing the guaranteed of the loans, which we all know that played a major role in the single-family housing bubble that was created that we're still feeling the pain for. And luckily, they had 3 lobbyists from the apartment complexes to testify, in addition to one businessman. I was wondering if you attended that hearing, if you had any thoughts on the hearing, and do you support FHA expanding into the multifamily?
I was not at that hearing, but we sent a letter as a result of the research that we did. But the multifamily with the FHA financing that has been done through the USDA and others has been a complete disaster. A complete disaster.
So you would not support expanding? Thank you.
John?
I got one.
Okay.
I want you to talk about the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act.
CISPA.
Yes. You voted for that? Why?
I did vote for it. And, you know, I'm on the Intelligence Committee. And we worked on this bill for probably about 11 months. And our hearings aren't as public as what some of the others are when they're financial services. But basically what CISPA is, it is a filter. It is a spam filter. Not spam, but it is a filter that voluntarily companies can be involved with. Cybersecurity is probably, if you talk to any of the generals or anybody in the security business or the intelligence business, they'll tell you that the biggest threat we have today is through the cyber. And so the United States has we're in a cyber war, and the amount of intellectual property that's been stolen from this country is staggering. And so what the government decided to do is to take this system that they have built and allow whoever wants to run through this system. That processes about 2 million bytes per second. And what they do, what the cyber terrorists or whatever you want to call them do, they are certain sequences of letters and symbols and things that they use. And what this computer does in the process, it looks at those things, and if it is in there, if a company voluntarily sends their stuff over there, and if they get a read on that, it will kick it out. And in fact, most of the companies that we found is not if they have been broken into, but how many times they have been broken into. And so what this does is a voluntary thing. I mean, if they don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. If this signal comes out and it pushes out the information, and here's where most people that have a problem with it have a problem with it. If it is somebody's personal information, then they call whoever it is and say, look, we don't want this information, we don't have this information, and then they destroy the information. But if it is a security breach, then they are able to let that company know that their security has been breached. If you'll remember, was it Emory that had the security breach? That everybody's medical records got done and whatever. Yeah. If you don't know you're breached, then you can't let your customers know that their data has been put out. So that's the reason that we made this whole thing voluntary. It's not something that they have to do. It's something voluntary. They can work with the government on. Believe it or not, some of our largest transportation trucking companies are now working. UPS is now working with the government, and they have learned a lot of things about what's been going on and the shipping, because they do it worldwide. And so that's what Cisco is. And a lot of people are very concerned about it. I'm very leery of the government, trust me. But I saw all the hard work that was put into it, meeting with groups like the ACLU, all the privacy groups, and getting basically everybody to agree